I'm genuinely curious what you make of some of this open AI conversation about the bubble. And this might seem totally unrelated, but again, you covered this in 2008 and during the recession. But I'm just thinking about right now, I saw this. This is actually a Neil Ferguson piece in the Free Press, but he's talking about the circular funding of OpenAI via NVIDIA and this CoreWeave company, where you have the funding for OpenAI coming from companies that, as Ferguson writes here, are both investors and suppliers to OpenAI. And the connection that I'm just making here in my mind, and even thinking about some of your, yeah, I mean, it's just like there's an arrogance. They kind of know that they're going to be okay, so they can play chess with the pieces of the board that are the American economy. And they know that they're going to get bailed out. They're too big to fail. And everyone else is just left with the bag.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly the lesson after 2008, right? When that was the horror of things like the Goldman Sachs Big Short story, was finding out how they thought, how these big, powerful banks thought about these things behind the scenes, that, um, you know, we have to get, sort of back to normal. The government understands that. And they will angrily insist on their right to be bailed out in every situation. And since that's been validated and has continually been validated, not just with the initial bailouts, but with, sort of the sort of Fed funding, there was the COVID bailouts as well, right? So that they know that even if they just experience a downturn, that they're going to be propped up. There's an implied backstop to everything they do. However, I am hearing, it's funny that you bring that up. Some of my old friends from like the finance days have been calling up and saying that the rug is going to come out from under this AI bubble sooner rather than later. So there's a lot of fear about that at the moment. And what you're talking about, where eventually the check has to come due for some of these investments. Somebody actually has to have money in the end. And that's what, when people found out that with the mortgage thing, that there was no there in the middle of that, all those different bubbles. That was when everyone ran for the exits, and maybe we're nearing that moment now.